What's up, everybody? Back again, Warp Charge Gaming with episode 38 of our Thursday night talk show we do each Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. How are you? I got James and Chris with me. How you fellas doing?
Hello, peoples.
Dude, doing fantastic.
It's a pretty good day.
Doing fantastic. Except I'm mad at the mail service.
Yeah?
Mad at the mail service.
We, UPS, USPS, FedEx.
USPS.
Yeah, they're the typical culprits.
They are the typical culprits.
You know, I think that the mail services are quite familiar to many a gamer out there, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, they said they delivered my stuff, but it was not here.
I definitely didn't have near as much mail interaction until I was a gamer of tabletop miniatures. eBay and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, I think
you use eBay to buy models?
I did until I met James. And
you can still use eBay, and I can just rescue them.
Yes. Now I'm not afraid of unpainted models, knowing that I can get them to look more amazing than anything ever. It all started out, I think, with the horrors, James, or was the horrors a later project?
No, it definitely started out with the horrors for you, sir.
Yeah.
Because I had those bad boys, and you were like, hey, I see this awesome combo. And I was like, well, I got some coming in the mail right now. Yeah. And you were just like, I want them.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I will paint them like I was going to paint them for myself, but for you.
Yep. Yep. And they're still quite awesome, and I had a long run with Zinch. But yeah, there's a main thing that's so great today for myself is James, after we've waited for quite a while since the Rogue Trader release that came out for Kill Team, James completed and got into my possession just today the Geller box from the Rogue Trader set. So James had a Fabu with the mail, I had Justice from the FedEx gods, and it's fucking fantastic.
Difference is FedEx and USPS. That's the difference.
Big difference, yeah. Also price difference, though. But I also got to, speaking of the mail, I did send today you the Vigilus box.
Oh.
Or what is it?
Vigilus.
What's it called?
Wrath and Rapture?
Yeah.
I'm excited about this box because the Slaanesh Herald is so sexy. Like, I don't even see myself putting her.
Herald.
Yeah, I don't even see myself putting her like in my army anytime soon. But she'll be painted sooner, just so that I could stare at her while she plays beautiful music on such an amazing harp that took someone's soul to make.
Right.
It's a dope harp.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that harp is probably the coolest thing, and the Karnak in there is really dope. Yeah.
Yeah, he's way cooler in the metal version. I'm excited about him also because I'm playing him at Adepticon teams.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
You're playing Karnak?
Well, we're trying to go for slaying some warlords, and Karnak is very good at killing characters.
He goes a hunting.
Fair.
Yeah, he goes hunting.
I actually wanted to get to try to spend some of this episode to see if you guys might be able to help me, particularly James, because I know he's more Chaos Forte, in creating a new list with the Gellerpox. Perhaps we should show some pictures of how sick these things look and talk about a list. Would you be interested in that?
Should do that.
I'd be interested, but you're going to have to share to me their stats because I'm not familiar with them.
Well, the Gellerpox, I mean, the fact, like, it starts out with the rule of cool, right? And no matter what, I want the Gellerpox in there in their entirety. I can't spam them because I'm not getting another Rogue Trader box painted up by James. And I want Scabathrax the Bloated, also painted by James. So we'll look at that here in a second. But let's take a look at these models, friends. This is the sickest. I think this is the Nasher. He's the one and only you can take of one of the Nightmare Hulks. Here is the Thrice Cursed. And it's Vulgar, the Thrice Cursed, which actually his name is a special rule that applies to all of them. There's one of the Nightmare Hulk. So that one on the right there with the fly arm is definitely, he's very Marvel-esque, very comic book style, like but also like very alive. Probably one of my favorites for sure.
So what's your thoughts on the color changing paint now that you've seen what it looks like painted on a model?
Oh, it's incredible, especially like on this guy with like the octopus arm. You can't really do it justice with the photo of just like how much it has like an alien-esque like color changing. The color changing almost provides that extra step of like giving it life.
Does it come off kind of like iridescent?
Yeah, that's how my wife described it as well.
Oh, got to hear what the wife said about it.
Yeah, she was just like, ooh, wow, it's so tiny. I could never do that.
There was there's the one base out of these guys. I think that's like a bunch of flies bunched up together. And I know the first time I saw a picture of that with the sheen, I didn't get a good look at the model. I was like, is that like a dragon? Just because the wings literally look so reflective, they're like scale-esque.
Yeah, that's the Eye Stinger Swarm, and they are. I got another good. Over a skeleton body. Oh, here's one. This is what James took in the progress. You can see the bases all painted up there on the side as he cranked that out. It was kind of play-by-play that day. He was cranking them out, trying to beat the post office. That was right before the Tabletop Alchemy show we do each Monday. But yeah, this image here with the flies really does a good justice. His camera phone did good there, eating that skeletal body. It's awesome. These are some secret weapon bases.
Super cool.
So there's all the dope ass models. Here's the slugs. I mean, it's just fucking awesome. And here's what it looks like close up, kind of as a horde. So it's neat when you see this deployment here with all of them together. You see that's how they have to drop. So that's the first thing to know about them. Is one of their special rules or restrictions is the Vulgar's followers, and the thrice cursed. When he drops, everyone drops. And the only way, because their faction keyword is Gellerpox, you can't faction keyword them, mix them in with anyone else. They have to be their own detachment. So that's kind of unfortunate. And you can only fit them in a patrol detachment because like half of the units don't fill the Force Org slot. So that's part of the equation there. So it's simply a patrol detachment with 2 troops and an elite, and then 3 of the other units just take up no slot at all.
So Scabathorax, how are you getting him in your Force Org?
So it's pretty much just 3 detachments. You got a super heavy detachment with Scabathrax. You got the patrol detachment with the Gellerpox, and then you got a battalion of Nurgle. And here's the big shot. All right. So on the screen now, you see the whole thing, and this is the list I have in mind right now, using the most obvious buffs on Nurgle Plaguebearer type rules is the Sloppity Bile Piper and Spoilpox Scrivener. One thing that's sick about
I have to interrupt you just because Ice Wolf got you so good.
Yeah.
So good. Read the comment that Ice Wolf said.
What up, all? Great paint job. So tiny. That's what C said. C said. Oh God, Ice Wolf. That was sick burn, bro. Sick burn.
Sick burn.
That was real sick burn.
I had to interrupt you for that. I'm sorry.
That was pretty brutal. Savage, savage. Yeah.
Coming from the Netherlands with no mercy.
Yo, I'm gonna say the entire Netherlands have small dicks.
Oh wow! You're like some of the biggest people in the world.
Whoa, man.
No, I love you, Ice Wolf. And whatever. I'll figure out my jokes later in my talk backsies.
Hilarious.
List, bros. The cool thing, one piece of tech is that the Bile Piper, he affects letting you advance and charge with Nurglings and Great Unclean Ones, and Scabathrax counts as one of those. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You should just run a brigade and run nothing but Nurglings for your troops. Because Nurglings are great.
Yeah, there's a lot of buffs that you can give to these guys with those 2 characters, and I guess I already think of with stratagems, and besides like 3 units of Plague Bearers, you probably don't need 3 units of Plague Bearers. 2 would be fine. But I'm limited on Nurgle models. The Plague Drones, I got 4 of them. I got like 3 unpainted ones.
How many Plague Bearers do you have?
I have 90 there.
Oh, How many do you have total in your collection?
90.
Okay. So, yeah, 2 units of 30. There you go.
Well, yeah, so I have 90 in there right now. You're saying I should take out 30. Like, that would be some flux points. Is like, what do I do with 200 some points? I could throw a Demon Prince in and take out 1 unit of 30.
I would say 2 units of 30. And then take some Nurglings for sure. To fill up your other troop slot.
Do you think just one thing of Nurgling and then take a Demon Prince? What do I do with that 100?
Or maybe 2 units of Nurglings. And then can you fit a Demon Prince in there?
I'd have to.
Demon Prince would be ideal.
I would have to. If I went 2 units of Nurgling, I would have to min max a little bit. Either reduce a few of those 30 squads of Plague Bearers, or
you need those maxed.
You know, take out 1 Plague Drone, but 4 is way better than 3. You know.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I'd rather have a whole another unit of Nurglings to have 2 units that can counter deploy for things that can get up in your grill right away.
Yeah.
So, like, if I had to lose a Plague Drone over having the ability to have 2 of those units, like, counter deploy, I would do it.
Alternatively, I could just put in a unit of Nurgling and then have the rest to summon, and I could summon more Nurgling or summon 20-man squad of Plague Bearers. What do you think of that?
Well, the thing is you want the 2 Nurgling units to start the game off with.
Yeah.
Like, because it's the deployment rule that is what's so key about having them in the beginning, is putting them behind a wall or a building, even a rock in most situations because they're so tiny, just so that they can't do like the jump up into your grill and light up your Plague Bearers and then charge into them, where they're getting these double, like, extra attacks and extra wounds to try to clear out your screens. Like, having them there, they might die, but they're placing your opponent so much further back where you can then take advantage of them moving forward that little bit.
Yeah. You
moving and then being able to charge them on your terms.
Yeah, I think I just so I just made an adjustment to the list where based on that, and I had mistakenly forgot to put the Poxbringer in there.
You definitely
gotta have a Poxbringer. So now it is I put in 3 units of Nurgling and a Poxbringer in replace of a 30 squad.
Okay.
All I got to do is I'm 13 points over now, so I could take out just 2 on one of. I could do 29 and 29 on the squads, or a 28 and a 30.
I would want 30 and 30. Take out the Nurglings and just add the bases to
okay.
the 1 unit.
Okay, so I'm gonna make them 4-man squads of Nurgling.
Yeah.
All right, doing it. This that sounds good. And then of course, so then I'm going to be using things like Warp Surge to give them plus 1 on the unit that's up front. You know, Miasma, Pestilence. Now I might put that on Scabathrax. I'll probably be Miasma-ing Scabathrax, Virtual Blessing to heal him D3 wounds. I forget some of the. He only gets 2 powers, but do you also? What do you think about? Because so the whole Gellerpox unit drops in as 1. What do you think about Denizens of the Warp on Scabathrax?
That's a good idea. I mean,
so,
2 command points, but whoever's summoning them is dying.
Right.
Like, because it's not just 3 dice; it's a shit ton of dice. I forgot. I think it's 5, and then every doubles is mortal wounds. Every triples is D3 mortal wounds. Like, you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's fun, is that it appears I can give him the Nurgle Warlord trait, and it looks like I was going to give him the Acidic Ichor, so that every time he takes a wound, he has 22 wounds and healing himself, and every time he takes a wound in combat on a 4+ I do mortals. Seems pretty sweet.
Yeah. I could dig that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems functional. I mean, like, you know,
I just wonder.
Yeah.
You don't have a ton of command points to begin with, so spending 2 to have something summon him in and probably die.
Oh, he would deep strike in. We're talking about spending 2 to deep strike him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can spend 2 deep strike or spin the Blake or take the chance to summon. Either way gets him in there, but he's really survivable, man.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised just like starting him on the board, giving him asthma, making him neg 1 to hit while your screens are neg 1 to hit.
Totally.
They're going to end up split firing because they want to kill the big guy.
Yep.
And then because he's toughness 9, like most things don't know how to deal with toughness 9 very well. Makes him like pretty beefy there. And then he has a shit ton of wounds. He has a 4-up invul. He has the 5-up disgusting resilience. And you can keep healing him D3 wounds. So as you keep moving forward, like once you're in combat and like he's, I think within 6 inches, he gets neg 1 to hit in combat.
Yep.
Like you're pretty good at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of like the Gellerpox all come with a lot of default -1. Their main shtick is basically using on their own. They're nothing to be excited about, but their command points or their stratagems are what are the most useful. And it basically causes mortal wounds in several different ways. And they have like if you kill the flies, they can come back. It might be the flies. One of the parasitic units. If you kill them, you spend a command point. They come back for free. The bigger mutants there, not the Nightmare Hulks, but the 3 other mutants, they can deep strike around the board for a command point. The fun thing is, while you only have the battalion worth of command points plus your default 3 for being Battleforged, the Gellerpox, though, they come with their own 3 command points.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you get 3 command points that you can only spend on Gellerpox stuff. So I'll have my 8 plus 3 for the Gellerpox.
Well,
it's not
that's
bad.
all right.
It's not bad.
But
Yeah.
how much does it take to deep strike them, or do they just do that?
They just do
free?
it. They just do it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that's like a good backfield harassment detachment.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me double check about their deep strike situation because it acts like they all do that. It might just be how you have to deploy them straight up, which isn't as nice. This ability has no effect. If it does, you cannot set up units with this ability before you set up Thrice Curse. And when you set up him, you must during deployment. Yeah, it's during deployment. So yeah, it's not a deep strike backfield thing, unfortunately. You just have guys in it that can deep strike.
Oh, well, that's lame.
Yeah, and everybody that comes in, they have to be within 6 inches of when he comes down. So you're pretty much just tethered. Yeah, not that great, but the several of them can deep strike, and because they do have all the Nurgle keywords, you can buff them with a lot of the Nurgle powers, and that has stuff to be considered in itself. So I haven't.
Too bad you don't have a tree, man. If you had a Nurgle tree.
What does that do for me?
Advance and charge.
It allows you to advance and charge, and then fall back in an advance and charge. It gives you +2 to cover while you're within 7 inches of it. And what's dope is that gives your Plague Bearers a 4-up armor save instead of a 5-up demon save. There's
Wife's all walking on camera and stuff. I don't know what's
extra
going
cover.
On. Show me overalls. Anyways, y'all, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my wife. She's making a habit of jumping in on the live shows because probably because I'm going live too much. But that's part of the beauty. Sorry to interrupt our talk about the Nurgle here, but soon I will no longer be filming in the house as we are officially moving into Battlegrounds with the main rig here. It's super exciting. Damn it, I want to talk about that, but I also want to make sure we're done talking about this army thing. Did we have? What did you just say, James? Was there anything that added to me having tactics? We're talking about the Nurgle tree. Nurgle tree lets me do what? My wife distracted me. Damn it!
Oh man! All right,
you can advance and charge.
All right, it gives you advancing and charging, being able to fall back and charge. Also, it gives you +2 being in cover.
I want to fall back and charge. I want to be able to fall back and charge. Absolutely. The tree is like the easiest thing ever to proxy, dude.
Yeah, you could proxy it.
Check
sure.
It I'll check
the model's just cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. But look at this tree right here. We call it the dick tree. That is my new Nurgle tree. So I use this thing and I get to fall back and charge, huh?
Cost 2 detachment though.
Yeah, it costs you a detachment 85 points. So that's impossible, actually. You can't fit it in your list.
What about
Can't fit in your list. You can't fit in your list. You can't fit in your list.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I even brought it up. My bad. I apologize.
Some tournaments though have been doing the 3 detachments and the I think even at Nova you were able to take a fortification detachment and not have it count as one of your 3.
That sounds crazy.
No, it's totally a thing. Like for instance, Tau. I mean, they got their shield walls and stuff like that. It really that limitation really stopped a lot of functionality to some folks, like the Tau.
Well, if there's a tournament that allows me to bring a fortification and not take up a detachment slot, I would be doing some crazy shit with Possessed. Yeah,
I mean, it's always worth looking into the details there because I've seen it more often than not actually about how that's.
I think you're a liar.
I'm not.
I think you're a big fat liar.
I'm not lying.
I think George is having a fever dream.
No.
It's from all the cum. All the cum he exposed out of his body.
Cum parade. Listen here. I want to take a second to say hi to Lou Banks and JFX 5016. Hello. James painted. She trained you well. The moment she walked in, all focus is on her. Ice Wolf, that's hilarious. That is true.
Dude,
it's true.
He really has no option with a tiny penis.
Big
CERN.
God damn y'all. Since we're talking about James painting, just gonna throw back up some quick images of these beautiful Gellerpox. I cannot wait to run these in Kill Team as well, but 40k is in a pretty high focus right now. We got a big tournament coming up February 2nd at Battlegrounds.
Wait. 40k is in a big focus?
Yeah, playing a lot of 40k. Particularly trying to beat Chris.
Who is this Chris you speak of?
We got Chicken Bone jumped in?
Yeah, Chicken Bone jumped in.
Sick. What up, Chicken Bone? Yeah, so speaking of Chris and games, we recently just had a match. Here's a look at the armies. I think it was last night? Maybe the night before.
Sounds right.
Yeah, we played pretty damn recently. It's pretty much last night. And here's the Tyranid force that Chris has been manipulating and being tyrannically tyrant around our crew with. There's a ridiculous Evil Sun boys, a big Luda bomb with a bunch of Gretchen to shield them. And we had a really great game. We went into turn 6 with 19-19, a tie game.
Damn right.
And Chris pulled away on turn 6. I only scored a point. He scored 4, 24-20. A little spoiler alert there. The bat rep is about to be posted here shortly. Before that, Chris totally annihilated me with another bat rep that's about to be posted up, where I brought this Thousand Suns list. I was doing great with this Thousand Suns Demon combo until Chris came along and smashed me. And, now we have a lot of Tyranid hate. I'm just gonna put up images.
I'm not gonna lie, George. That Demons game was rough.
The Demons game was ridiculous. It was the saltiest game I had filmed yet, and the only reason not posted because I need to edit out some salty moments where I was saying a slur of cuss words that I did not think was a good image. So if you want to catch us on Twitch, you get the raw and dirty where I talk mad salty cuss words and yell. But I'll edit that out for YouTube because we're a wholesome crowd.
And right before my game with you, I'd played a game against Connor where I still don't remember if we'd worked out that I'd won or it was a tie, but it was 27-27 or 27-28 my favor.
I got an image.
Either way, I didn't lose.
I got an image of you there, Chris, of you taking out Connor on his makeshift ITC terrain there over his space mat. You can see your effing Tyrannifexes going up the board there along with the rest of your monsters.
Listen, man, Tyrannifexes are the shit.
Oh, do you know why I'm laughing so hard right now?
Is there more?
The terrain?
Oh, my. Oh, my. Dude. Are you guys just practicing for the London GT or something?
Oh, let me throw it back up.
Oh, Ice Wolf, same minds right there.
Oh man, yeah, that's some pretty terrible terrain. Chris came over and was like, his eyes kind of lit up when he saw the forest board I had set up for us. I was like, what? I was like, oh, you've been playing with fucking cardboard. Here's another shot of a board that I set up for. This is the Thousand Suns board that Chris and I put on.
Do we have to start a GoFundMe account for Connor to get?
Dude, I'm trying to convince Connor to put in an order for an Eldar board.
It's my fault. We're we're printing him some stuff as we speak. Connor needs to go with Tabletop Alchemy.
Like, I will donate some prints to him to help out the situation.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really exciting? We got to talk about it for a minute. I'm gonna throw a Battlegrounds logo here with Warp Charge. These guys have been our partners during the year, and man, I was in Battlegrounds today. I'm gonna show you guys a quick video of me walking through Battlegrounds and kind of narrate here. So I'm coming through the front door. You can see the counter, that whole back wall that's behind that counter is about to get tore down, and they just expanded this room you're walking into. This used to be a smaller 40K room. It's almost like double in size now. And as I spin the camera in this right corner, that's where Warp Charge Studios is about to go. That's going to be our hood. We're going to wall it off with display cases filled with Tabletop Alchemy gear. And I'm going to be going to the store 7 days a week to be streaming content every day. Here's a look at some of those display cases up close there. With the going to Battlegrounds, we're going to be going. It's going to we're like pouring our hearts and souls in those guys over a year and a half, and like doing it out of the trying to make this happen like on the backs of dreams. Haven't asked for any money, nothing like that, but we're going to try to get support from y'all, and we're going to go live with a Gilliman giveaway to start it off. And as we get a Patreon kicked off, we got Battleground supporting us with giving people discounts and doing giveaways on a monthly of sweet new gear. So excited to get that pumping and have a place. Man, the filming quality is going to go up huge when we can not have to be. We're in a tight space. This room in my house, being able to have that full game store, they have so much terrain there. Man, when we were moving the stuff around as it's kind of disassembled to make room for the renovations, I was finding all this terrain that they had like in boxes like hidden away, and I was like, this shit's dope. We're gonna get to have so many different landscapes to play on. There's tons of stuff that comes in used or on the shelf that I'm just gonna be able to pick up and play. There's a whole Grey Knight army there. I just be like, yeah, I'm gonna play Grey Knights today, or I want to use Mortarion. They got like 3 on the shelf, painted up, looking sick. We're gonna start showing Infinity, Age of Sigmar. Though pretty much tons of different gaming systems. They play BattleTech there. No matter what, we're going to have content come out 7 days a week, and it's going to be 40K Games Workshop related products, and as well as other game systems too, because no matter what, content's going to go up. So looking excited for that. That's going to be a big deal for me to drive to this game store every day and try to be whoring off games as much as possible, coming up with a calendar system, be kind of roping people into the internet there, but really looking forward to it. I'm curious of what kind of challenges we might face with having a whole game store with a background noise. They got us in a nice nook that I think we'll be able to avoid it, but they're also going to put a lot of the role players, and they're the loudest motherfuckers. The damn Dungeons Dragon fools are just, "Whoa, my dragons!" and "I do this," and talking in funny voices and shit. So we might get some hilarity in the backdrop, but it's all love. We're all there to enjoy games, and hell, maybe
it's the gaming atmosphere, man.
Yeah, maybe we'll film some role playing games. Who knows?
It's part of the organic experience.
What you do in your spare time, you don't need to put on the internet. Like, I know people get paid a lot of money for that shit, but like, make a different channel, man. Make a different channel.
James says none of that nonsense. Okay, fair enough. Chicken Bone says nice big room. Let's see.
So what I'm hearing is that we're going to start playing the Horus Heresy RPG in the store.
We could. People already do, and they talk in funny voices.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
talking funny voices. That's so awesome.
Checking out the chat. Checking out the chat. They're clearly infesting Battlegrounds. No. Well, now the Battlegrounds is expanding so large. I mean, you feel like it's a whole nother store across the building almost at this point. But yeah,
that store was way smaller when it first opened and wasn't Battlegrounds, and like just watching that store over the years turn into like 5 shop fronts is just ridiculous.
It actually, with this new square footage, is going to be the biggest in the state. So really, really proud to be able to set up our business within the business and have such support, be able to partner with Tabletop Alchemy and create a 3D printing company. I was just at Battlegrounds this past weekend.
This is a massive game store if you guys haven't been before.
Check out this shot. This is a how to play day. I was one of the reps for the store to show people how to play Kill Team, Age of Sigmar Champions, Warhammer Underworlds, and I thought there was a 4th game. That was 3. It was tight. It was, ready to go. These games are also the games that participated at Nova and going to be at Adepticon playing. I'm looking forward to my first Age of Sigmar Champions tournament at Adepticon, which is right around the corner, y'all.
Yeah, it is. Gets closer every day.
Adepticon's right around the corner?
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm so excited.
Gonna get so drunk.
Chris, you should jump into the. I couldn't believe they had Kill Team events still open. I actually jumped into another Kill Team.
Wait, what?
Event. Yeah, you should fucking go on there and get a Kill Team event pass. Like me and
That's
James,
a good idea.
Me and James are both playing Friday morning.
I'm about to just be running like literally just a Broodlord and like nothing else. Like I fucking love the Broodlord. He's my man.
Yeah, that's Commander though. You can't play that in regular.
Wait,
Kill
what?
Team. Yeah, man. Get with the times.
Dude, I don't even know any of this because this is going to be the first time I ever played. And I'm going to play 2 events at Adepticon.
Yeah,
I'm just getting it in. I don't even know the rules. I'm going to make it up as I go along. It's going to be fantastic.
Watch out for James. But yeah, Gordito Spree, I know who couldn't make it tonight. But hey, what's up, Gordito Spree? I'm sure you'll catch it on the back end. We're looking forward to playing with him at the Friday morning event. And James and I'll be playing both Friday and Saturday. I'm in 5 Kill Team events, so I'm coming for you, and I'm going to bring these considered the most competitive, but I hope to be able to be an upset with them.
Do it.
Looking forward to it. They got some, and Kill Team, I think they're especially powerful. 40k, they're going to
they're bullshit in Kill Team, and they're bullshit in 40k. You just love models that are just coolly painted.
Yeah. What you should do, George, is you should run a super heavy detachment that's Mortarion, Scabathorax, and some other super heavy, and then run those guys, and that'll be a good list.
Dude, that'd be an amazing list.
I was reading the words from Chicken Bone and Michael Vendusky, and I just heard super heavy, Chris. I'm sorry. What would be a great list? I got excited for a second.
You should just run, Scabathorax, Mortarion, and some other third super heavy for a super heavy detachment, and then use the Gellerpox. Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Dude, you can have fun with that. It'd be a good list. Mortarion flies around, does his flying lawnmower of death thing.
Yeah, I mean, you just have the big baddie Nurgle guys. I could do. I guess
you'd have to throw Magnus or a Renegade Knight.
Oh, you know what? Mix. I got some sick Forge World
That'd be cool.
Nurgle drones. I should throw them in the list too.
You're a Nurgle drone.
I just want all the toys. Damn it!
All of them.
I got to figure out how to get my Dick Tree in there, dude.
Wow. Yes, the Dick Tree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, see, if you do the 3 super heavies and the Gellerpox, then you have a third detachment for the Dick Tree if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, then you have like no command points, but
Who cares? I got 3 super heavies and a Dick Tree, dude. Plus
he's got 3 free ones. Like, what do you need?
Man,
we can call that list compensating for something.
Dude, I think, yeah, okay. Chris, you need to be gentle as a lamb. I don't want to hear any. You get off your high horse, you son of a bitch. Dude, somebody take this man out. February 2nd. I need somebody at the Warp Charge Gaming Invitational.
That's why I want Pat to show up. I was like, yo, Pat kicked my ass last Invitational.
I don't know if you should call it an Invitational this time because it's open to the public at Battleground. So wouldn't you call it an open?
Yeah, it definitely
The Open, yes.
The Open.
It's changed to the Open.
It's the Open.
What evolution. It's the 3rd annual time we've done this tournament. And it's based around my birthday. There's nothing I'd rather do than play 40K with homies and have a great event. It's going to be super sick now, though, that the studio will be in the store when we have the Warp Charge Gaming Open. It doesn't sound right. I don't like the way it sounds.
Hey, you're the one who decided to make it open instead of an invitational. Get more friends, I guess.
Wait, the Warp Charge Grand Prix.
Invite. Yeah, okay. Grand Prix.
That means multiple events, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, there's multiple games.
Well,
yes.
I appreciate the help on my list. If anything, I forgot a Poxbringer, and putting Nurglings helped that situation. So that's good.
You just need 3 super heavies. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. If I've learned anything, George, the thing that most lists needs is 3 of things. Just front 3 of things.
Okay. All right. Fair. I'm going to try to add more cool Nurgle toys in there now that I realize my drones are out. I even have a Decimator engine in Nurgle fashion. I got to shove more stuff in that list just for funsies.
Oh, that's what she said.
I don't even think there's any rules. Yeah, for some reason I've said a lot of that's what she said setups. I'm good at setting it up and terrible at delivering.
Oh, that's what she said.
She said.
Oh man, that was tragic. Also,
that's classic. Woo!
Oh man, good job.
Thanks.
Good job.
It's all natural instinct.
That's what she said.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for letting me insert. Wait, oh shit, oh no.
Something about low-hanging fruit.
You can't even talk anymore. Anyone else want to just chime in? And that's what she said, and I guarantee you'll fit.
I'm glad we talked about Battlegrounds.
Look at Ice Wolf, dude. He's seen it too. It's just so bad.
Yeah, they're on a delay, so we're already laughing. Oh man. So yeah, y'all, we talked about Battlegrounds. We talked about February 2nd tournament. Actually, this upcoming weekend is going to be a Warhammer Underworld tournament. Next weekend after that is a Kill Team event. And the weekend after that is the February 2nd Warp Charge Gaming Grand Prix. Looking forward to that. That's in the Best Coast Pairing app. We are ITC official on that one. This is going to be actually one of the last few RTTs available for the 2018 season. LVO is going to round it out, and we're going to begin the 2019 season. Looks like a big thing going forward. The latest and greatest from the ITC from Frontline Gaming. We got of course, the code of conduct, and then there really seems to be making a strong push to sanction the necessity of uploading your list, which is something I'm really excited about. I don't know if you've caught wind of that, but they're starting to really require. LVO is for one of the first, I think, to really be a major that says you must upload your list ahead of time and your list is locked.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy that your list gets locked because some news has dropped that Zango or Dark Crystal warp time shenanigans is not going to be allowed at LVO.
With like an FAQ that's gonna drop, or what's gonna how
like a ruling there, as far as
that'd be interesting. A unique rule to the tournament. I mean, because they're so ITC serious. Like you would think it wouldn't just be for the LVO, but they would make it an ITC official.
Well, I think it's a situation like what happened at Nova, is where they changed how fly worked, like on the fly. And I think this is a situation where they're going to do that, and then the FAQ afterwards is going to take it away.
Dang. Yeah, I think I'm curious, will the mission packets be available publicly and something we can investigate here soon?
Yeah. And then also, like, the Vigilus just got FAQ'd where some Yanari shenanigans was happening that was not allowed to happen anymore. And maybe some people got their list submitted with the intentions of using that shenanigans, and now they can't change their list. So
damn.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a cutoff time to when you can change your list, but no matter what, it has to be uploaded. I don't know. It seems they're definitely putting on more work to look at these lists and edit them and audit them or whatever. But
what I think is super dope about all this list collecting is the data they're grabbing from the algorithms that BCP wrote.
Yep.
And how much it's going to show what's dominant, what's not dominant, it's just going to be awesome to see this for the first time.
Totally. The averages, as somebody that would take pride in a best faction, they're going to be able to take even further by either seeing how close they were to kind of the standard meta for that faction, or seeing how much of an outlier they were with an original thought process of the unit combination. Yeah, that is exciting. I mean, and it adds a ton of value to Best Coast Pairing as well to be a subscriber and be able to study these lists. It's going to make a lot more players more in the know about what is the standard practice by top performing players.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to see. Ice Wolf was asking if you're going to have a camera set up at the top table at the tournament. And I would believe so, since we're going to be set up there as a complete studio.
Oh, man. No, I mean, I'm serious. It is going to be a game-changing scenario that we're going to have a very comfy, large place to be able to produce content now. And it's smack in the middle of a busy game store. So
February 2nd, tune in, watch some Tyranids.
It's going to be crazy, man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Dude, Tyranids are going to get crushed horribly because your list ain't shit.
Listen, man, I'm hoping that's what happens.
Ain't shit. Like, that's all it is. You're playing in a bubble right now. And you're just like the biggest goldfish in the bowl. But once you step into the lake, you get chomped.
The biggest goldfish.
I am excited that we had some cats from Virginia Beach reach out. There's just a shout out to their crew, the Coastal Wargaming. It's a pretty sweet crew there that we met. Somebody named Daniel from Nova a couple years ago, played with them in a 3-man team, played against him. And he's a Tyranid player as well, Chris. He's in the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. They got a really active crew that way. And at the last 40K tournament we had at Battlegrounds, they had a few folks come out. There were some great sports, good players. And this time I think we have another good crew coming this way. So excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they were asking about like making sure we don't run out of space or anything. They were worried that we didn't have pre-registration up on Best Coast Pairing, and I had to tell them that it's just because the store is so damn big, no one will get turned away. We got enough terrain and mats and everything that we can cover fucking. There's no way enough people are going to come that we're not going to have enough places to play.
No, yeah, I mean, before the store expanded, I think the biggest back when it was FTW, I think I've saw them host like 32. People at an event once.
Yeah.
Like
we can do
cool. Right before LVO, before people fly out. They might be testing their list the one last time. You might get 50 or so people just from the East Coast traveling there.
I hope so. That'd be beautiful.
That'd be amazing.
You know, one thing that's amazing, not to, it's kind of I don't know if it's the best known secret or whatever. I mean, Battlegrounds is so gracious that they actually back 40K events with 150% of the prize support. So whatever the amount of prize pool is from entries, they'll put another half of that in it. So we get $100 collected, put 150 in. It's nuts. So yeah, it's badass. I don't know a lot of game stores that do that.
I don't know any that do that.
Yeah, it's because they're fucking dope. Excuse my French, but we keep it real here. Yeah, so we know that Chris beat people up. He's being a tyrant. He's a big fish in a little pond. Everybody else sucks.
Nope. He's just a medium-sized goldfish in the bowl.
Yep. Hearing some talk from Michael there.
Can you guys come like a little early to Adepticon just so that we can get some home games in? And I can just whoop on Chris repeatedly over and over again.
Oh man!
Until his hair turns red.
I'm ready.
And I like end up married to his mother.
I mean, I got to train you a kill team as well. I mean, we got some kill team training.
That would be oddly complicated. I mean, and I guess that would be a first scenario. I would spend time with my stepfather, but you know, like, freaking, I absolutely am trying to get some games in. Like,
okay, because last time, like, we played a lot of games, but we didn't play a lot of games against each other. We played 0 games against each other.
We played 0 games against each other. No, we didn't get any in because, like, literally, I mean, we got there the night before and fixed up some models.
It was jam-packed immediately. Like, from the moment you got here to the moment you left, like, it was jammed. So, like, you almost need, like, an extra day just so we can just get in games.
Also, I'm not going to lie. I was not ready at that point at all. Like, even then, I was like, this is the best list I'm taking. But, like, I was not bringing the 7 Tyrant Fire or anything like that. This is a point where I'm like, I actually feel pretty good about this nonsense.
Because you're in a small fish bowl. Like, sitting on a bathroom toilet. Like,
I love my toilet.
Man, the Man, my schedule's packed. My schedule is packed at Adepticon. I'm trying to find my list right now of places.
Dude, I know. Like, it's almost a small blessing that Adepticon vendor shit happened, because you wouldn't have been there.
I got some games to play, man.
If all my shit goes through, I won't be there. I'll be busy Thursday, 2 kill team events Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday 4-man teams. That's busy as you can possibly be.
I hear you, dude. Yeah, we're gonna be playing some games. That's no doubt. Chris. After this hangout, man, you got to jump on getting some tickets while tickets are available for Kill Team. Friday is the day for sure.
Word.
Do it. You can play Tyranids.
Word.
Yeah, definitely Ice Wolf. He definitely has multicolored LED strips in his bathroom, switching from one color to the next because his attention deficit is that of a goldfish.
Here's here's my Adepticon.
That has ulterior motives, but you're right.
Silly fools. There's my times there. If you want to catch me at Adepticon and get some games on, there it is. Is this right? Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Oh, that's just the wait list. I did get myself a championship wait list just in case I could pass it off to somebody that needed it or whatever.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Word.
But otherwise, I got 3/28's Thursday. So Thursday, I'm just going to create content. Friday, I'm playing games all day with James and Gordito. Saturday morning, I'm going to play the card game. And then Saturday night, I'm going to play Kill Team. And then Sunday, I got Kill Team again. Dang.
Dope.
Powerful.
I'm excited. It looks like I don't see the type of scenario that Nova had where you play in all these qualifier events and then end up in a championship. So I'm curious to see how that operates. It's really tempting when you're playing 5 different events like that not to bring a different faction. Like I could bring Gellerpox for 3 and Harlequins on 1 and something else on another. It's pretty fun to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's part of the good times. So I see myself at least doing Harlequins, Gellerpox. And if you kind of scout the hood of who's playing what, or people upload certain things in BCP early or something, you might even choose a faction accordingly. And sometimes, depending on who knows how the actual event pack's going to go, I mean, the way they like to be, it can be crazy enough to say pick your faction when you hit the table. The crazy thing about Kill Team is you're able to have 6 factions in one bag,
Yeah.
So part of the good times.
Yeah.
James,
Yes, sir.
what have you been? I know you've just been painting your ass off. Any developments in your 40k?
Well, I played at a chapter approved tournament last weekend.
Yeah, I think.
I lost.
We talked about that Monday a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost 2 games.
Right.
I won 1, but I lost 2. If they were ITC missions, I held more and killed more every turn. But it was definitely cards. And yeah. Normally that would kind of be a tough pill to swallow, but there was only 6 gentlemen and no power gamers of the area. Some that can play pretty tough, but they're not necessarily power gamers. And they were all just having a good game. So it was very fun, relaxed day. It almost felt like a kind of like a game club night where just 3 games are going at the same time. And you're just going to have 3 games for the day. Still did a first, second, and best painted. So I got best painted. So I got basically paid $10 to go play. So
yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Nice.
But yeah, ITC missions are just way more straightforward. Where chapter approved Maelstrom missions are rough.
What were some of the missions like that you had to deal with?
One in particular is you had 4 mission cards, but every time you drew one, you drew 2. Mm-hmm. Your opponent looked at them and they told you to discard one and keep the other.
Right, cards.
So that one was particularly tough because I would look at it and he would have 2 good ones that were easily achievable, and I would have one that was easily achievable and one that wasn't, and it was clear that he could just give me the one that wasn't.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the
so,
problem
like,
with cards.
It was just, that was
Wow.
the difficult part. Is like he automatically was going to be achieving a card a turn, and I automatically was not going to be able to achieve a card a turn.
Totally, that's the whole problem with cards. Chris, quit karate chopping your cat, dog.
So that was one mission. Another one that was interesting is you drew 2 cards, and like you picked them. Like you got to go through the deck and pick them. But as you achieved a card, you drew 2 more to a maximum of 6. And then when the game was over, whatever you had left in your hand, like, got subtracted from your score. So, like, that one was pretty crazy. That's the only one I won because I realized how crazy that could get. So I picked the ones that's like hold this objective for 2 consecutive turns. So, like, I didn't achieve anything on the first turn, but I was able to get 4 points in the second turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got basically 4 more cards because I achieved
delayed your own card draw.
Yeah, delayed it so all my reserves came in. It was much easier for me to achieve objectives at that point. And then another one was I think it was just kind of standard, but whoa.
Sorry, the cat came up to the phone.
He was a knight player that was actually real smart about how he was screening, and he was able to kind of kite me around where getting the objectives that I wanted to get, I couldn't get. So he played the mission pretty well, knowing what cards I had. Because I had one that was Assassinate, which is kill a character, and one that was kill the Warlord, like Kingslayer. And he had the Big Knight as his Warlord, the Gallant. And then he had 2 combat medium knights and then 4 baby knights. And I was able to kill all the little knights, and he kept screening his main character with all the other knights. So it was just impossible for me to touch that knight without killing all the other knights prior. So me holding on to these 2 cards, like wanting to like achieve it, knowing it was easy for me to achieve, but he was just kiting me around where it wasn't easy for me to achieve turn after turn, as he's like achieving 1 card, 1 card, 1 card, and tallied up to just get like 3 points higher than me because I just held on to those cards for too long. So yeah, I mean, it's different. I guess it's not supposed to be necessarily competitive. We had good games. That's all I could really ask for.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. No, I mean the rulebook missions are a little funky. But
yeah. I do miss how chapter approve deploys. It's like old school 7th, where whoever gets to deploy first deploys their whole army. The next person then deploys their army in a countermeasure, and then whoever deployed first then gets to pick who goes first, and then you can seize the initiative if they chose it.
I don't think the was the deploy first automatic, or did you still have to roll back in 7th? I couldn't remember.
You still had to roll back in 7th.
Yeah, so it's like it's a little bit tweaked.
It's a little tweaked, but I actually like it this way instead of the
think
roll.
That's great. I think it's great.
Because that person that deployed to counter deploy, like getting struck, now they choose to go second instead of automatically choosing to go first because they need you to move out of position.
Right.
Like, I really like it. So then it allows you to kind of steal that first turn. So if you have something that can reach out and touch them, maybe you force them to go first, and you're getting 2 turns of shooting on them. Like, I like it. It's very tactical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd almost like to see ITC adopt that.
Yeah, I'm about it, and maybe they will. It also speeds up the game too.
Oh, funny story though. When the TO, which is a good friend of mine, Gary, he was explaining the difference in chapter approved missions to like ITC, because not many people actually played these missions before. Everyone's ITC player around here that plays those standard missions over and over again. So he explained how boots on the ground is different, and I had to we went through this big debate for no reason that I had to explain to him it's not different. It's just sudden death isn't applied, and it's just so funny to me. Like, I laughed for quite a long time, delaying us starting games because I just had to prove them to him that boots on the ground is exactly the same.
Right. So he was also convinced from the words of a few quick moments from some podcasts, maybe.
Yeah, creditable people. It's just, and I mean, it's not like what they were saying is necessarily wrong in their intention, but Come on, we're gamers. We go rules as written around here.
Yeah, what we're talking about is if you have nothing but flyers left on the board, do you win or lose? They wrote in that in nowadays per FAQs and whatnot that when sudden death is in play, if all you have left is planes on the board, then you lose. But they took sudden death out of a lot of the chapter approved missions. That's what we're talking. Yeah. Yeah, so it's no longer a thing when you're playing chapter approved missions.
Yeah, and it's funny because I got the commission to paint this guy right here, so that he could have more flyers because he thought boots in the ground has changed, and really, it's sudden death that changed. So hey, if he plays those missions that does not have sudden death, he's going to have a great advantage.
Yeah.
But when he brings that flyer to the tournament on the 2nd, and sudden death still in play.
Oh yeah,
you don't catch him slipping.
We play ITC around here.
Yeah, especially with LVO around the corner, man. Some people got to get that final game in.
Man, I was reading. I tried to get a little passionate on some of the recent bat reps, but I was reading on a Florida. I think it was actually somebody that just jumped in our chat. Let's see if he's still floating out there. Lou Bangs. Lou Bangs. I saw you post I might have been you. You have it slurred inside your. Moniker here or whatever, but he's from Florida, and in Florida he was running tons of events, like pretty much an event every single month for like 14 weeks straight or something. And he tried in all these different game stores, and he was talking on this the ITC tournament organizer Facebook group about the amount of struggles that he's faced, and kind of seeing what the other folks out there have experienced with different game stores, like literally having like a niche that has a built-in like reflection or hate towards ITC tournament players, thinking that they're like power gamers, or that the game system is actually dumb because they're changing the rules. The only real ITC rule change right now is just that the bottom floor ruins don't count as line of sight. Otherwise,
and then
nothing else really, is it?
No, another one is the objectives. The rule book. Yeah, the rule book does the objectives from the middle. The ITC does from the edge to the objective marker.
So that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And like, so, but he was experiencing all this like pushback, and people like, they literally had like funny names that they would call power gamer ITC players, and he was having a lot of pushback, and that was just distressing to me. I would be sad if my meta was like that. A lot of people like to play the narrative, but you know,
I would hate that, because like I said, I just played a chapter approved tournament, and we use BCP. We report into ITC. Like, you pick your own missions, you pick how your own play style, you report your score into BCP however you want to.
Right.
It's all decided if you want to get that tournament token to turn it into ITC to like record those points.
I don't see how it's like, why not have that added value, you know?
Well, I know the only reason I can possibly think on the negative side of it is if you have heavy tournament players that are like strive to be the best in the world, and they live in your somewhat region, and there's no tournaments going on, and you're advertising that you have ITC points available. They come there just to claim that first prize to get as much ITC points as possible.
Right.
So that's the only reason. But the best thing you can do to like not like to counter that, because you still want to welcome that person, you can probably learn a lot from that person.
Yeah, that's to me, that's like right alone is like the, like, you get one, like, you don't have, it doesn't have to like not be fun getting your teeth kicked in from somebody that's really good at the game. It can be really valuable and make you a better player, which is an enjoyable thing in itself, you know?
Yeah, and a TO, if they offer like other type of prizes, like a best painted sportsman, have not just like a first winner, but like a second place or a third place.
We adopted like, the mediocre award as the
dude. Chaos, the mediocre award is one of my favorite that we've done around here.
I think it's great.
Yeah, and they actually get the best trophy at the doubles event that goes on in Cambridge, Wisconsin. They do glasses with cash.
What's the Chaos guys' names again?
No, Planet Chaos.
Planet Chaos.
Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And they'll do cash and glasses, just like normal glasses with the event on it. And like that's your trophy with your prize money. But the mediocre dudes get like a engraved like flask set or boots or like like a better prize. It's like more special, and like a lot of people are striving for that because a lot of these guys go to Adepticon and they shoot for First Bloods, Warlord kills, all these things. So they're trying to try their tricky list where they're not necessarily going to get the best, but they get to like and
getting
coveted award there. So like bring on the power gamer. Like we don't care.
Right. No, I thought it was great. I mean, it actually naturally worked out for somebody that I wanted to win something, ends up winning something. You know, it's awesome. So yeah, look forward to doing that again, especially with man. I'm looking forward to trying to do best painted, which I think with the Gellerpox I might just naturally win by default, but y'all can try. You can try. But yeah, best
I see that in Kill Team, but
yeah.
I don't necessarily see that in 40k, man.
Yeah, I don't got it in my whole, unless I did like 3 super heavies and got some supreme ones. My Scabathrax is dope, but the rest of them not so much.
Yeah, like you would have to adopt that, like run Magnus, Scabby, and Morty,
and they'd all have to be as good as the Gellerpox.
Yeah,
but yeah, Kill Team I should do well with some painting awards, I hope and expect. Yeah. Chris, the Tyranid stuff, you know, you're happy that you did. What about the Gene Stealer cult rumors? Let's drop a little bit of that and then get the hell off here.
Yes, we have a confirmed leak, tease of the Biophagus, which is what I thought was the comms guy.
Oh, is that what you call yourself now? A Biophagus?
It's okay, James. It's okay. Let the man talk about his bug shit.
Come on, GW, really? Biophagus? Like, that sounds like what George did after he saw the Gellerpox.
Come parade. Go ahead,
this
Chris.
guy, he looks kind of like a apothecary-ish kind of character, I guess. But he has like a D3 table buff for a Barents, and I don't know. I'm not super impressed with him, though. Using his buffs, it does give you a lot of potential in a pure cult list to like get strength 8 of Barents, or is, you know, toughness 6 of Barents, or
weren't you pretty stoked on the Barents before the Broodlord thing you've been doing?
Yes, I still think they're going to be great. I want to see more of the High Fleet rules, or not High Fleet rules, but the Brood Regiment rules.
Yeah.
They're still really, really good, even currently. I think even they have used to be, you know, some of the like top contending units.
Where was
However,
the update that made them a little bit better? I forget where that dropped.
They got that box set with the Abominant character.
Yeah.
That's where they got an update in rules, and then one of the big things that's gonna supposedly make them amazing, and this is something we've seen, you know, keeps going through the rumor cycle, is the Warlord traits. And supposedly one of the Warlord traits lets you pick your cult ambush result, which is like one of the old school cult ambush results, Warlord traits. If you can do that, that basically means you can guarantee turn 1 charge with a single character and an aberrant unit.
Is it, though? Because let me ask you, have you seen anything that says the new codex is going to allow them to go beyond what the new chapter of proof says? Or can they drop in turn 1 with the Gene Stealer cult ability?
Well, whether or not it is turn 1, it means turn 2 you have a guaranteed charge.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You haven't seen anything saying turn 1's going to be a thing, because I remember that when they first gave that rule where you couldn't come in on turn 1, Gene Stealers were the exception, and they recently took that away.
They are no longer the exception per chapter approved. I have nothing suggesting they're going to get it back at this point.
Interesting,
but I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But I do know, like, you know, if you can pick your cult ambush result, that means you can place 9 away and then get a full movement before you roll your assault. So that lets you literally be an inch away from your enemies.
Yeah, turn 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn 2, but coming out of reserves. And
yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. Guaranteed charges is great, and that'll put them a step up. But the nice balance there will be that the orcs will still be like probably the most supreme at a turn 1 charge with a big body of army, while the turn 2 charge will be the most guaranteed by the Genestealer cult.
Certainly, that's I think a good way to look at it. I do know that I think you're going to see, as far as like cult and Tyranid hybridization goes, you're going to see kind of like pincer moves. I mean, kind of similar to what you already see, just slightly different tactics. A lot of people keep using the Swarmlord Slingshot, High Fleet Kraken. You can get a unit of Genestealers go something like 20 plus like another. It's ridiculous. You can go like 40 inches in a turn with some Genestealers with a Slingshot, with a Swarmlord, if they're Kraken. But, using that, I mean, you could literally have Tyranids turn 1 charge, align, and then have Cult come in and just sweep up behind. I think that's something you'll probably see. I think this specific character they teased for James' amusement, the Biophagus, I don't think, unless he's really cheap points-wise, I think you're only going to see him in Genestealer Cult Pure lists, because there are ways to get those exact same buffs without rolling on a D3 chart pretty cheap on characters. The best way being the Psychic Power Might from Beyond, which gives you 2 of the 3 bonuses on the chart on a very cheap Psychic Power cast. There's also a banner you can take that can give them +1 strength. I mean, there's a lot of buffs you can get. So if this character isn't something like 40 points, then I think you're really only going to see people run him to do that kind of like over-the-top thing. Kind of like the Possessed Blob, where you're getting like +3 to wound. The different version would be like, it's not as good as +3 to wound, obviously, but +3 strength and like +2 attacks on like some aberrants would be just completely disgusting, because you can use command points and aura buffs to make it so that you should always have +1 to hit. So they'll be hitting on 2s. 6s will grant you an extra hit. You can get, +3 strengths. Some of their weapons roll 2 attacks to hit. Some of their weapons get a bonus Rending Claw attack for every attack. With the Vigilus stuff, you can give them for 1 command point reroll to wound. Reroll 1s to wound, rather. And another command point to make it so that when they are killed, they get to pilot and swing before you remove the models. Additionally, they are rumored to be getting a kind of like the not forward operatives, but the unit replenishment kind of stratagem for 3 command points, where you can pull them off the table and put them back.
Yeah. Damn, that's gross on those guys.
Absolutely. And, they have a 5-up feel no pain, 2 wounds a pop. They reduce damage taken by 1. They're very beefy. I mean, their save's only 5-up. They're only 2 wounds. They're a little squishy.
You remember off the top of your head relative cost for 1?
10-man unit is 240 points.
Oh, wow.
It is not, it's cheaper than running a 20-man blob of Genestealer called Genestealers, because that actually comes in at 300 points.
And you get a lot more heavy strength.
You get a lot more heavy strength, a lot more multi-damage. I mean, without... I can't remember. I did some number crunching a while back, and the first wave I left out like 2 or 3 buffs. I think I left out all the Vigilus buffs. After a knight saves in close combat, if you pull off a charge, you should be able to shave off 24 wounds in 1 round of combat on the charge. And with the Vigilus stuff, that bumps up to like 31 point something.
Damn.
They're lethal. A 10-man blob on the charge. I mean, even if you get charged, you could pop that command point stratagem and still just get your full attacks. They're pretty gnarly. I do think that I don't think they're a game ender by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they are points heavy. They're a little restrictive, but they're one of those cool toys that are just going to add some more flavor and fun to the game.
Stacks on
not
stacks.
A lot of people.
Stacks on stacks
Yeah.
of abilities there.
Absolutely. And I mean, the characters aren't slouches either. I mean, none of them are, Broodlords or anything. That's actually one thing I'm curious about what they're going to do to the Patriarch with the Genestealer Cult Codex, because the Patriarch and the Broodlord basically are identical. There's just one that's Genestealer Cult, one's Tyranids, and the Genestealer Cult Patriarch did not get the points reduction that the Tyranid Broodlord got. So it's still 150 points. Meanwhile, the Tyranid version's 115 points.
Mm. Yum, yum. And of what I've experienced, he has the Genestealer keyword. And you've been using that as he hides as a character, and then all of a sudden he gets command points as he goes hunting and killing other characters.
And it's glorious too, because I don't care if I die to characters as long as I think I can kill you. I'll spend a command point and swing upon my death and try to take you out with me.
And then to get D3 command points when you do.
And additionally, this is something else you can do if you were to have one wound left. When a Genestealer deals wounds and stuff like that, I could actually spend a command point and deal a mortal wound to you if you had one left.
You've popped some demon princes like that a couple times and just drove me crazy.
There's so much stratagem tricks. I mean, Tyranids have a very diverse arsenal.
That was one of the demoralizing things in the games we had with the orcs, is that I felt like I was like, all right, well, at least he's cranking through command points. You went down to like 3 and then popped back up to like nearly 9 after a few of my characters went down.
I got down to 4 or 6, burned 1, got 3. That bumped me back up to 8.
Yeah.
And I think I also got 2 when I was at like 5. That bumped me back up to like 7 at one point.
Yeah, you went up twice where it was like, damn, son, get out of here with that.
It was good. It was effective. And I mean, as command point heavy as my force is, I mean, I think a lot of kind of beat stick build armies are command point heavy.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like most of the game, I think in a lot of games, happens in the first, 2 to 3 turns in terms of like offensive firepower and like just, smacking around. That's when those command points I feel like are generally getting spent. Yeah. And I mean, almost every game I play, I start very strong and I start to lose steam. However, that's kind of where I try to cripple an enemy force quickly and move on with my specific force.
And then sometimes you roll ridiculous and you have more attrition than you should.
I got to be honest, man. I think one of my greatest strengths, like
Leviathan,
is that I am just absurdly lucky.
Stupid Leviathan. Oh, I got 3 out of 4 6s. How'd that happen? Oh, I did it again, too. Oh, 4 pinball. I'll fail a few. Nah, never mind.
It's like literally, like that was just another like salting the wound moment with George's game last night. Not to give too many spoilers, but like he tried to kill this unit of Gaunts on one turn, and I had to make like 3 feel no pains or something, I think, for like the unit to have any models left, and I have it nailed to where like 1 model was left out of the 10-man unit.
It was terrible. Yeah, that broke the camel's back for sure. It was a good ass game though. You guys should watch it. I'll be posting it up on YouTube here shortly. And yeah, just because we're well into the hour here, guys, we'll be posting a lot more content as we move into 2019 here and move into Battlegrounds. That should be going down like Monday, so you're going to see a whole different environment as we start filming here more. A lot of exciting things coming, including a Gilliman giveaway, so keep your eyes peeled to get this sick model with a magnetized helmet. Looking forward to finally giving that out to one of you fine folks out there. And we'll be back as we are each week, Mondays and Thursdays. Monday for Tabletop Alchemy 3D printing talk show, and Thursdays with the usual Rants and Raves. Next week's going to be episode 40, y'all.
What?
Yep. Hosting from within the store. Chris, I'll be on your side of town. You can come right over to the store and jump in and host.
Hey, I will be there, and I don't know if Mike is still watching, but that's like 5 seconds from his house. He should pop in the store.
Yeah, we can start. It'll be fun to have talk shows in the store. Maybe we'll get some more people invited to join us in the conversation. I want to do in the store. It's going to be easier to do the green screen backdrop. I definitely want to start having like some crazy swirly shit behind me. That's going to be cool.
I want swirly shit.
You need to get a green backdrop. James will get you some swirly backdrops, dog.
Swirly shit.
Dude, I'm going to get so swirly.
Yes.
Swirly.
Get your swerve on. Later, Chicken Bone. It's good to have you. Ice Whip, it was great to see you. Yeah, we're gonna make video about we're gonna MTV Crips up the move there. Good having Michael and JFX 5016. Lou Bang saw you, and I hope that if you're the Florida ITC organizer, that you keep doing well and things go well.
Keeping it ITC.
Yeah, keeping it funky. But yeah, peace and love, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Keep taking fun seriously. We'll catch you here next time. Catch you later.